Pokémon Scarlet, with one of its main selling points being past Pokémon compared to Violet's, which focuses on the future. So what better way than to play through the game using only Dinosaur Pokémon? And luckily for us, one of the 3 starters could be semi-classed as a dinosaur. So they will help us for now until we can freely roam the world and start assembling our team. The starter of course is the fire type for Coco. With our starter now in hand, as the same as any other Pokemon adventure, we have to have a quick battle with our rival Nemora. I'm going to pronounce a lot of things wrong, heads up. To teach us the basics of Pokemon battles. After defeating them, we are then free to roam our way to the Nagia Academy. Along the way, we encounter our bike, the Pokemon Koraidon, injured on the beachside. And after giving them a sandwich to help restore their vitality, we follow them out of the nearby cave to safety. Upon exiting, we meet back up with Nemora and encounter our second rival of the game, Arvin. And after defeating them, they entrust Koraidon into our care. Making our way through the next route, we eventually end up at the entrance to Mesagoza, and after a quick battle with Nemora, we are able to enter and go onwards to the academy. Just before we reach the academy, we meet the game's evil team, Team Star, basically a gang of school kids. They are bullying our third rival of the game, Penny, and we step in to stand up for her. After defeating the first member of Team Star, before we take on the next, Nemora shows up and gives us a Terra Orb, an item which allows us to access this generation's gimmick of terrestrialization. The Team Star battle then adds a tutorial to how terrestrialization works, and after coming out on top, we can finally enter the academy. After a long section on exploring the academy, how classes work, and what can actually be done there, we can finally access the rest of Paldea and are free to pursue the 3 different story paths in whatever order we might like. But before we start onto the story, we can now pick up our team members for the dinosaur team. Our first team member is Larvitar, who we name Larry. And just next door to them, we find our second team member of Tusker the Axew. With our first 2 team members of the team in hand, we make our way to the first gym located in Coronado, who is the master of bug types. The battle is very simple, and we make short work of their team, awarding our first gym badge and our first of many different challenges we have to take on. With our first badge now in hand, it's time to pick up some more members of the team. The first is a Dino, who we fittingly name Dee. Next up is Nibble the Gibble, and our 5th member we catch is a Frigibax, who we call Rex. With our team almost fully completed, it's time to take on some more of the challenges. First off, we take on Cloth, the Stony Cliff Titan, and after eating a sandwich with Koraidon, we get the ability to dash. Next up, the second gym, led by Brassius, the Grass type master. Another Titan is next on our list of Bombarda, the Open Sky Titan, and this time we get the ability to swim from eating another sandwich with Koraidon. We take on our first team start base for our next challenge against Gmikado, who has a Dark type car we have to defeat. Before taking on the next gym, Rex evolves into Archerback. The next gym is the Electric Gym, Lavernia, against a popular streamer, Iona. Shortly after, we have another evolution, this time of Nibble, evolving into Gabite. And then we take on Melola's Firecar for another Team Star base conquered. So one thing we have been lacking for a while now is our final team member. And well, looking at the list of Pokemon available in the base game, since we don't actually own the DLC, there isn't any more Pokemon that I would say fittingly describes the role of a dinosaur, other than the Paradox Pokemon, but they only come right at the end of the game, and I'd rather catch our final team member sooner rather than later. Looking at the map, it turns out there is an outbreak of Larvitar. The thing is about outbreaks is they have boosted shiny rates. So for our last Pokemon, I decide to shiny hunt for another Larvitar. Eventually the shiny gods send us one our way and we catch our final member, Tiara, the shiny Larvitar. With our team now fully completed, it's time to return and finish off the challenges. The first one we return to is in the same area as where we captured Tiara, and meet up with Irvin to take on the third Titan, Earthworm, the Lurking Steel Titan. Unfortunately, we fail our first encounter since our team is not really that well suited to take on steel types in the minute, so after a quick detour to some Haldors to collect their fangs, we craft the Fire Fang TM, which we teach to Nibble, re-challenge the Earthworm, defeat them and eat another sandwich, this time improving Koraidon's jump ability. While making our way to the next gym, Larry evolves into Pupitar. The next gym along is the water gym in Cascafaria, and we fly through it with ease, awarding our 5th gym badge. Our next challenge along is another Team Star base, but along the way Tiara, our shiny Larvitar, similar to Larry, evolves into a Pupitar. We then take out Atticus's Poison Car, probably said that wrong, for our 3rd Team Star base, Concord. And then proceed to fight Larry, the 6th gym leader in Medela. Another evolution comes our way as we make our way to Montenevia, this time around of Tusker, evolving into Fracture. In Montenevia, we take on Rhyme, the ghost type gym leader, in a double battle, which makes a change, but still it's no challenge at all. Tulip, the Psychic Master, is up next, in California. Probably said that wrong, but they proved to be our most difficult challenge so far. After being crushed by them, thanks to them having half their team of fairy type moves, and ours majority being dragon types, we go and do some prep work, minting our team to have better natures, a little EV training, and some hunting for some better movesets. After all our prep work is done, we return and challenge Tulip once more. Although the battle was still a challenge, we managed to come out on top for the 7th gym completed. Our next target is another Titan, this time around a Paradox Titan, Great Tusk the Quaking Earth Titan. And after a quick fight, we find another piece of Herba Mystica for another sandwich. This time around it unlocks Koraidon's ability to glide, making movement a lot nicer. Before taking on another challenge, both Nibble and Tusker evolve into Garchomp and Haxorus, respectively. Gym 8 is up next, the Ice Gym led by Groja. And although our team definitely has a big disadvantage against Ice types, we still pull through, and take them out without too much of a struggle, awarding our 8th and last gym victory. We can now go and take on the Elite Four, but beforehand we might as well finish the other 2 storylines we have available. First up, we have to complete the last 2 Team Star bases. But beforehand, DD does actually evolve into Xyrilus. The first Team Star base is run by Ortega, with their fairy type car. And although we have a weakness, the battle was easy nonetheless. En route to the last base, we experience a few more evolutions. Rex evolves into Baxcalibur, and Larry and Tiara evolve into Rattata. Our final Team Star base, Eri, and her fighting type car are no problem at all, and we make short work of them. With the final base defeated, we are informed that the final member of Team Star, their boss, is waiting for us in the academy for one final battle. But before we go and make our way there, we might as well finish off the Titans, of Donzozo, the False Dragon Titan, followed by Taskagiri, the False Dragon Titan. After defeating them both, we claim the final Herba Mystica, share a sandwich and unlock Koraidon's final ability of climbing. With all the Titan Pokemon defeated, Arvin would like to meet us back where we first met at Pokeo Path. But being a procrastinist, I think it's time to go for the Elite Four now. The Elite Four. Rika, the ground type master. Poppy, the steel type master. Larry appearing again, this time being a flying type master. And the final member, Hazel, the dragon type master. With the Elite Four defeated, we make our way to the roof, where we find Greta waiting for us, challenging us for the champion rank. Defeating them, we become a champion. Honestly, the fight was not too bad at all. It's probably one of the more easy champion battles in the games. After defeating them, we earn the champion rank. However, it does not end there, as it turns out Nomura has also become a champion and challenges us to one final battle to see who is stronger, waiting for us in Mesagoza Square. It's now time to finish off Team Star once and for all. However, before we are able to take them out, we get stopped by Director Calvin, who wishes to test our strength and see if we are truly capable to stop Team Star. And after a fairly simple battle, we are able to make our way into the academy and enter the courtyard to finish off Team Star's leader, who turns out to be none other than Penny, the girl we helped right at the start of the game who was being bullied. We then sweep through a team of evolutions with ease thanks to Sword Dance by Nibble. Stopping Team Star once and for all, and it allows us to finish one of the 3 stories. Next up is returning to Arvin at Pokeo Path, where we discover that Professor Sada is located in Area 0 and would like us to come down to meet them. However, before we are able to, we have to prove our strength, and we are challenged to a battle by Arvin, who, much like the Penny fight, Nibble just sweeps through his whole team, completing the second story and unlocking our way to Area 0, although we still have to prove ourselves to Nomura to unlock the final act. Before we make our way there, Dedede evolves into Hydreigon. All our evolutions for the team are now completed, and it makes our team fully completed. In Mesagoza, we are challenged by Nomura to see who is the true champion of Paldea. And well, Nibble has got to the point where they're pretty much a powerhouse. With a couple of sword dances, they can just sweep through pretty much anything, and they managed to do so with her team, but only being taken down by their last Pokemon, but Rex comes in to finish them off. We truly become the champion with our victory and complete the 3rd story of the game. With all 3 now completed, we can make our way to Area 0 for the final act. Making our way down, fighting Paradox Pokemon after Paradox Pokemon at the research stations, we learn more and more about what happened in Area 0. Unfortunately, we learn that Professor Sada passed away a long while ago in a conflict about Koraidon. And, well, we've been talking to an AI version throughout the whole story. Eventually, we make it to the final station, where an AI Professor Sada is waiting for us to help stop the time machine, causing the spillage of all the Paradox Pokemon. However, as we attempt to shut down the time machine, the system fights back, taking control of AI Sada, where we have to fight through her team of Paradox Pokemon in order to fully shut down the system. And after a fairly tough battle, we managed to defeat her team. But the system has not given up yet, and enters one final act of defense, where we have to fight a Koraidon. However, our Pokeballs have been disabled, and we are unable to send out any of them into the battle. and it isn't until our own Koraidon steps forward to defend us, letting us use them to fight and take down the Koraidon and stop the machine once and for all. The battle ends. We win the fight. The time machine has been stopped and Paldea is safe, completing the game. And with that, it turns out it is indeed possible to complete Pokémon Scarlet using only Dinosaur Pokémon. Of course, we have finished the game, but it would not be a dinosaur only if we did not catch the true dinosaur of the game, Koraidon, down in Area 0. And there we have it. The challenge has been completed. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It lets me know this is something you've enjoyed and want to see more challenges, and potentially want to see more challenges like this in the future. If you do have any other challenge ideas you'd like me to see me try, be sure to leave them down below as well. And with that, I shall see you in the next one.